Welcome, food travelers, to another episode here in Vancouver, BC. In this video, we're sharing our experience visiting the famous Lunch Lady. Lunch Lady is known as the local serving rotating daily noodle soup in Saigon for the locals and famous world travelers. And as you see in the video here, you can see Anthony Bourdain here in the art mural there, and he was one of the famous world travelers that came to visit this restaurant in Vietnam. So this one is actually located in Vancouver, BC, as I mentioned earlier, and this one is a very, very famous restaurant, and it's also Michelin mentioned. So if you're planning to come here, I definitely recommend making a reservation. Otherwise, you're not going to get a table, especially on the weekend. As you see, I'm entering the restaurant here, and I did make a reservation, and I put in the comments that I wanted like a corner seat or something by the window, and the server at the time was saying, oh, you can either take this table or you could take this other table that's by the window, but it's kind of like a raised table. So I did want to sit closer to the ground, and so I kind of looked around for a bit before deciding which one I wanted to go see at.
Yeah, Micah, I was a bit bummed that I couldn't come to this one because I really did want to come try this restaurant. I remember watching the Anthony Bourdain episodes where he did come and visit the lady in Vietnam for these, so I did want to really try this, but from what I saw, it looked like it was pretty good from the videos and the clips, everything you brought back home. What I'm really curious is actually, I'm curious what the difference would be between this spot and in Vietnam, because I know a lot of people tend to try different restaurants that are overseas that are off the same type of brand, something like Din Tai Fung, and they, at least from what I've heard from people, they always say that the Din Tai Fung in Taiwan is better than the ones that you have like in the U.S. So I was really curious if this is the case for this one.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I think that's a great point you make there, and I think if sometime in the future that I get to go to Vietnam, I'll definitely try that one out. Or maybe you could try it and then you can come back to Vancouver and try this one. So some of the items that we got here was they have this rotating menu where every day there's a different type of special dish you can order. It's more like an appetizer, and we were kind of discussing with the waitress here and kind of figuring out what we wanted to order, because the daily special for I think the Saturday was like a Dungeness crab, tiger prawn kind of cake with like quail egg and some other things, and it was kind of very, very similar to another appetizer dish that we will end up ordering, which was like a it was a soft shell crab fritters. And they kind of, the ingredients were like so similar, and it was just really difficult to know which one to get. And the waitress did say that you could either get something that's more seasonal, or you could get something that, I mean, it's like just like a famous, like everybody always gets this type of dish situation. So we end up just going with something more classic, something that everybody gets. And then we end up also ordering the beef carpaccio too, and that one I actually really, really enjoyed, especially since usually beef carpaccio, they don't add all these other ingredients where the texture becomes kind of crunchy at the same time with the nuts and stuff, and I really, really enjoyed that part. It was actually something that I found really different from a lot of other restaurants that we went to in the past.
Yeah, it really did look different. I know we've had beef carpaccio, you and I, at different restaurants, and I've never seen that many different toppings or ingredients into a beef carpaccio, but it does look pretty tasty. Pretty much all the food that you brought back in terms of the clips that I was watching through, they all look pretty tasty, especially the soup. That's definitely something I really wish I had a chance to try. One of my favorite things, at least I noticed when you were eating through the soup, was the bone marrow. And at least when I was a kid, I really, really enjoyed sucking out the bone marrow in soups that I had at home. And so I just kind of imagined that when I saw the clip for the soup.
Yeah, the soup, as Simon was mentioning, is a Wagyu beef noodle soup. So that's actually made with Snake River Farms Wagyu that was sliced on the side, which is something I really enjoyed. I mean, for something like that type of beef to just be soaked into the soup the entire time, I think it would probably have ruined the taste of it a little bit. Because these type of the beef was so tender, like you just want to like cook it perfectly to like I guess medium rare-ish, and then just eat that right away, and it was just perfect that way. Yeah, like Simon said, with the roasted bone marrow, that was actually really good as well. I kind of feel like just eating the bone marrow by itself tasted a little bit better than mixing it in with the noodles and everything, because then you kind of gets lost in a way, like unless you're like drinking the entire broth afterwards, you might have missed a couple pieces here and there. The slow poached egg was also really good as well, but the brisket that they had inside, I felt like that was a little bit overcooked. It was kind of on the tougher side of things. Maybe it was just this situation, but usually I feel like the brisket could be a little bit more tender.
I was wondering, like, did they tell you to like scoop in the bone marrow and put it into the soup, or that's just something that you either saw somebody else do, or you decided you wanted to do yourself?
I kind of just watched people around us. I wasn't sure how to eat that because they didn't exactly explain, oh yeah, this is how you want to eat the bone marrow. I kind of thought, okay, well, if it's in the soup, then you probably should just mix everything together.
Yeah, when I originally saw the soup, I thought it was like a bowl for one person until I saw you guys sharing it in the clip here. And I kind of didn't realize, I knew it was a pretty large bowl, but I really couldn't tell like to the extent, to the actual size of the bowl, but that was a huge bowl. So that bowl, I mean, if you really wanted to eat a whole bunch, I guess that could be for one person, but I'm assuming they make the bowl for two people.
Yeah, they did kind of mention that a lot of dishes here are like shareables, kind of like any other Asian restaurants that you normally go to. It's usually like family style, so you usually do share pretty much everything that you order. But overall, I really did enjoy this one. I think it's definitely worth a visit if you've never been to this one before. And for this notable is the beef carpaccio. I really enjoyed this one. It's different from other places where I've had this dish. There's a lot of ingredients used on this one, and the combination of everything gives it a nice crunchy texture that I really enjoyed. Definitely try this one if you come here to visit.
If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.